new toy joy!
Oh, it's another Bumblebee.
But this one's actually quite good.
It's messing with my mind!
Hello, it's Moobit here yet again with a new Toy Joy video, hence the wavy hands on the camera syndrome, so you can look at the beautiful toy and not at my ugly mug. Now then, this one is quite a good one. I'm just going to move my microphone a little bit. There we go. Hello, I'm hoping this comes out okay. This is the new RID version 2 Bumblebee, which, yes, I know, another Bumblebee. But it's actually quite good. The Hasbro 2015 are doing well. First we've got the Combiner Wars line, which is brilliant, especially to collectors. And then we've got this. I've borrowed this from my daughter because she's getting right into bots at the moment. Wants to take after Daddy, I think. And she loves yellow, so she wanted Bumblebee. And rather than getting the one step, I thought I'd start her off proper and get her one of these, which is somewhere in between the collector friendly and the one-step changes. They're simplified but still fun to transform. As you can see, lovely card mode, lovely colours on him, pretty much what you'd expect from a Bumblebee, legs with the feet at the bottom, head's hidden in there. And he's a nice little kind of a cartoonified Dodge Charger-ish type thing, which seems to be his alt mode these days, which is a shame. We don't get the new Volkswagen Beetle, but there you go. And he's very nice. Lovely paint job, very bright, very colourful. You know, he looks like a toy, but in a good way. I like him a lot. There's not really much to show on this. He rolls very well. He's got the pegged in wheels, as you would expect. And some nice detailing on the back. There's not a lot of detailing because it's, you know, not as much detailing, should I say, as the Combiner Wars moulded in. But you got a little bit there you can do. His sword pegs onto the back. In fact, I'll show you that right now. Here we go, there's his sword. Lovely bit of detail and clear and colourful and things. There we are. Whee! My camera decides to keep up with me. And it's rather nice. I don't actually, well, my daughter's let me have the sword because she didn't want to lose it, which is nice of her. But just to show you, there's some tabs on the bottom. And what it doesn't tell you in the instructions, there's some tabs there. And there's holes in the sword, and the sword just pegs right on there. And then sticks out a little bit on the back, a bit like an exhaust pipe. So it's not bad storage, to be fair. Wheels still roll, kind of. Not too bad. But, you know, I know Bumblebee will have a sword in the show, but what I've found, actually, is I'll show you in a bit, but that is a perfect sword for my Piratey transform, which I'll show you in a second. Quick size comparison, there he is. And here he is with a G1 combiner, just to give you an idea. Pretty similar size, really. Still quite nice. And of course, Micromaster Blackjack, because he's in all of my videos. Hooray! Anyway, let's get this guy transformed and see what it looks like in bot mode. And here is RID Transformers version 2 Warrior class, as they're now calling him. Bumblebee in his robot mode, and he looks pretty badass. He's great. He's very cartoony. Give a little spin. Sorry, that's me. With a little sword. I'm still not convinced by Bumblebee with a sword. We'll get rid of that. And what I was saying is, well, I'll give you the size comparisons in a minute. The sword fits perfectly with Thundertron, who's one of my favourite bots of the last few years. It's lovely little face sculpt there, a little Bumblebee smirk, some great light piping as well. It's not really coming across very well on here, but you've got a whole load of light piping there, so you can get some lovely pictures with him, if you so please. Your scanner app, smack in the middle, not much in terms of like moulded in detail, because it's going for the whole cartoon aesthetic, which works quite well, I think. Lovely fun transformation. Not quite as simple as some of the other ones. They've simplified them down. The only problem you have is loosening the doors initially, which become his wings at the back. They are a bit tricky, especially for, like, my daughter's 7 years old and she finds it hard. I have to get started by loosening the doors first. The rest of it's quite intuitive and quite quite quick to do and fun. You know, involved enough to challenge young children's hands, but not so complicated like the movie bots that they just give up after 2 minutes. Because let's face it, as collectors, we give up with the movie bots as well, don't we? They're a bit of a bugger. So it's a lovely little compromise. Just be careful of those doors, and the tab does get stress marks eventually because it's quite hard to loosen them. That's the one thing I'd worry about, really. But he's lovely. I really like him. He's my second favourite of the line, and I never thought I'd say that about a Bumblebee, but there you go. Size comparisons there he is with his wave mate Grimlock. Yay, and they look quite good together. Although I would imagine Grimlock in the robot mode would be huge compared to the rest of them, but you know, it's all down to the same size of plastic and everything, I guess. But you can see how the cartoon aesthetic fits in really well with those guys. So yay, Grimlock's very good. Best of the line, but yeah, you can see how that goes. Here he is with a Prime, so this is Beast Hunter's Bumblebee. Not quite as big or chunky looking, obviously ignoring all the missiles and stuff that are done in. This is basically the same mould as a normal Prime Bumblebee, just with lots of spikes coming off him. But you get the aesthetic there, pretty much similar size to a Deluxe from a couple of years ago. But that ain't a bad thing. Plastic quality on this one's a lot better, I must admit, in hand. Here is with the aforementioned Red Alert, I think he is, G1, just to give you an idea. So you get an idea of that, all the G1s there, so he'd fit in better with an animated shelf, which all my animators are downstairs, I can't really go and get them for you. Another new line that's just come out is the Combiner Wars, so that's what it looks like with Combiner Wars Alpha Bravo. Again, it kind of fits in, kind of doesn't. They're going for the more collector-friendly colour schemes here and more bright and garish colour schemes there. So he definitely fit in with an animated shelf, I would say. But past that, you know, it's not going to fit in with normal, if you will, Transformers. And last but not least, where is he? There he is with Blackjack, because you always got to have a bit of Blackjack there. In fact, there's rumours that they're going to start bringing out like mini-cons for these around about wave 3. So maybe if the mini-cons are about the same size, you get a general idea what they're going to look like together. And this is what I mean about the sword. I've got Thundertron right here, and he comes with a sword which, as some of you will know, where is it? That's on the other side of it, I'm not going to bother, but some of you will know the sword for this guy has got a massive battery box on it, which... and he can't just hold it as a sword that way. The battery box makes him hold the sword kind of like that, which is rubbish. But this, look at the paint there, it's perfect for him. So you put that in there. For what I've been doing, in fact, is putting it so the sword's on the floor. And then you've got his spare foot, turning him into a parrot. He's got a hole there. Just peg that there a little bit. And there you go, there's his parrot. Yeah! So Thundertron's now got a proper sword that he can actually hold properly. And you can mount the parrot on it as well if you want. So there's a little top tip for you. But overall, what do I think of this guy? He's lovely. He's a great aesthetic. It doesn't fit in with the Combiner Wars, but that's good. So it's like two very different lines, which is, you know, either good or bad, depending on whether it's your heart or your wallet talking. Really nice simplified transformation, but not going as bad as they were on the last few lines. And yeah, he's great. He's the second best of this wave 1. The best being Grimlock, of course. But to say he's a Bumblebee, I really like him. And until next time, I have been Moobit. You can follow me on Twitter at Moobit and all the other things on your screen right now. And do keep tuning in. I do new toy joys as and when I pick them up, and then I do normal videos, usually Monday, Wednesday and Friday, which are old school reviews or Doctor Who reviews, something like that. Gaming and other nerd culture type things. So if you're into that, please do press that subscribe button. I've got a campaign running at the moment to try and get up to 1,000 subscribers. I want to earn your subscription, so do check out my channel, see what's there, and give us some feedback so I can keep making good videos for you guys to entertain you. Thanks for watching. Next up is RID Grimlock. Ta-ra!
I like to move it,